Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh and this is Working Man Reads. I know it's been a minute. I think the last video I did, I had COVID and we kicked its ass, thankfully. But I hear my daughter upstairs saying, which I thought she was asleep for like the last 35 minutes, but I just heard her say, "Daddy, come lay with me." But we're going to talk about a Richard Laymon novel instead. Weird segue, but I will go, I'll have to go lay with her after this video. But I did a buddy read back in October, and I totally dropped the ball. Similarly to 2020, where I hit a reading slump right in October, which is hilarious for a horror reader. Same thing happened in 2021. Can't really explain it. I think maybe it's a tough time work schedule wise, and I think I just get overwhelmed, and so I fell behind. But I did read a book with Blackacre Doe. I will tag him down below. I think we're going to drop our videos on the same day, but we did read Night in Lonesome October by Richard Laymon. I read the ebook version on my Kindle, and yeah, I'm going to probably just read right off of Goodreads, my review, just to kind of give you guys a more structured review this time around, because it's been about a month since I finished it. So, I previously stated that The Traveling Vampire Show is the best Laymon has to offer. I stand on that in regards to plot. That being said, Night in Lonesome October is his best writing. And yeah, his writing in this definitely, this is probably the best he's got. Laymon. I think that the way that he builds dread and a sense of tension throughout the story definitely lends itself to his gritty style that we all know Laymon has, dirty, nasty old man style. So the main character, Ed, recently was dumped by his girlfriend, Holly. He spends his nights walking the streets and coming in contact with others who enjoy the nighttime hours. Women really... so Laymon really nails the suspense and creepy nature of being outside in the dark. If anybody's ever been walking home from work or just walking in an area of town where it's really quiet, it's very late, there's really no reason to be out, you just have that sense of dread, and Laymon really nailed that in the narrative. And I think that alone was worth a star, because just every scene takes place at nighttime or in the dark, or just, there are different scenes where he's getting to the nighttime, but this kid just loves going out and walking the streets and just seeing what kind of trouble he can get into and looking at things. He is very depressed about being dumped by his ex-girlfriend. I think she went away on vacation and then just basically dumped him. So Ed meets a few young ladies, and then I did in parentheses, of course, it's a Richard Laymon novel. I'm going to leave the rest up to the plot, up to you. It is more of a thriller with a lot of twists and turns. So my star ratings, I gave it 4 for horror, 4 for writing, plot 3 stars, characters 2 stars. Fun, I gave it 4 stars. I honestly thought that this was a fun ride. I don't know why it took me a month to read it. It did. It was still fun to read. Pacing was 4 stars. That could easily be 5 stars. It is rapid fire at a certain point. And you're just trying to catch your bearings as you're reading this, and you just don't understand. It just goes from 0 to 100 real quick. So, this is what I liked. The setting of October. Who doesn't love October? Is always a hit with me. The crisp air really comes through in the text. Casey was an interesting character. One of the young ladies that he meets that hangs out at night. Casey, I enjoyed her as a character. The sense of dread and the setting. Laymon, he took his time writing this. I have a couple spelling typos in here. Ed, for real though, I found him to be a little tasking and annoying as a main character. So that's one of my. Oh, now I'm in the what I didn't like. Ed, I said for real though, I found him taxing. He is very annoying. one of the most annoying MCs I think I came across in fiction. So that is, you should know that going in. Personally, I found him very angsty. I was like, bro, just get over it. You're getting attention from other people. Like, this girl's not dating you anymore. She's like, dude, you got to move on with your life. Like, you need to go talk to somebody. That's just how he came off. Obviously, there is sexualization of women and boob talk. It's Laymon. I shouldn't even have to really mention that in any of my reviews. He is infatuated with chests of women. So I think it could have been shorter. I think you could have cut 100 pages out of this novel, and yeah, I think so. I think there was a certain section that was like, just kind of like, get rid of it. You know what I mean? But I think he was trying to make a longer novel, and I get that. That's the artist's decision. So then overall, I gave it 4 stars, and I said I struggled deciding on whether or not this book deserved 4 stars or 3. I ended up giving this book 4 stars because in this novel, Laymon does something different. I feel like this is a departure from his usual depravity. Don't get me wrong, this book has some sick scenes in it, but overall the tone is different. In this one compared to his other stories, I am not sure if I would recommend this one over his other stories. And that mostly pertaining to the Traveling Vampire show, I still think that is the premier starting point for his fiction. I've read quite a bit of Laymon now. This one is a great read. My beautiful wife called me, and you just don't miss those calls. So, yes. Where was I? Oh, yes. So, you could start here at Night in Lonesome October, but just know that it is more of departure from his traditional strange slasher type books. I think it was Criminale that said that he writes like almost as if it's a B movie, and I think I agree with that. His horror style is like a B movie horror, so I like it. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of like my guilty pleasure read. Like, I really don't care. I just enjoy sometimes reading some of his stories because it's just like, what is this man just had a special mind. But so that's been my review for The Night in Lonesome October, or Night in Lonesome October by Richard the Boss Laymon. What an interesting man he must have been. And I think he had a kid. So, yeah. But that's just goes to tell you that just because you're an author doesn't mean you can't, you know what I mean? Just because you write crazy stuff doesn't mean you're not like somewhat normal and regular in real life. You know what I mean? Like, no, people might not know that I have like a hoarder amount of books, just stacked up. But I'm still, I live a pretty normal life, relatively normal. But other than talking to myself in a basement. But I hope you guys have a fantastic afternoon, morning, night. Yeah, it's been Working Man Reads. Until next time.